Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Weekly Entertainment. Wow, we have a great show for you lined up today. We have filmmaker Randy Hutchinson, and this is going to be a great show if you love movies. So grab your popcorn, and this is going to be a good one, another good one. It's always a good one here on Weekly Entertainment. Well, welcome back. Sorry if I sound a little off, but I have a man cold, which is different than a normal cold because us men are just total babies, especially when we get the smallest sniffle, So I spent all night hopped up on NyQuil and Tylenol PM, and hopefully we'll make it through this broadcast. They might end up pulling me out of here in a stretcher because of my man cold, but we have paramedics on standby in the green room. But we have Justin Bieber's in the news again. I know he comes up quite a bit here, and apparently a paparazzi was actually killed, trying to get a picture of him as he was pulled over by the police. It is, I guess he had a Ferrari or something, and but it's a true story. But it turns out he wasn't even driving the car; it was a close friend of his, and so this paparazzi died trying to get a picture of Justin Bieber, and it turned out it wasn't even him. And I think that's really sad, and it's. What's the tombstone gonna say on this guy? Here lies so and so, died for thinking this was Justin Bieber. Just sad all around. But Justin did send his condolences to the family, and his thoughts and prayers go with the paparazzi who died trying to get a picture of him when it wasn't even him. But let's. Why don't we take a look at this picture now? This isn't the one that got the paparazzi killed, but there he is. Okay. Obviously, it looks like he's going to clown college and in this ridiculous-looking car. Well, okay, I have to be honest, a couple days ago it happened to me too. Can we check this picture out? Oh, yeah, there we go. Overweight, middle-aged man in a ridiculous-looking car, obviously trying to... he's probably has shortcomings and, needs to justify that. So, all right, well, we have a great show for you today. We have Randy Hutchinson, and, we have a Xander minute, too. So let's see what our good pal, we haven't seen him in a while, and he's raring to go. So let's see what Xander has to say. And we'll be back right after this.
Hi, folks. This is Xander the Conqueror, and welcome to Xander's Minute. It's really good to be back on the show. I haven't been here in a while. This is a lot of fun. Well, I got a really interesting story. Let's see. Everyone loves reality shows, and this one is going to be really interesting because it's right up my alley, because there's this company, it's called Mars One, and they're going to be actually sending people to colonize Mars. Let's see, they're going, in 2023, they're going to start putting people on Mars in colonies, and they're going to colonize it. But here's where it gets really good, is they're actually going to have contestants on a reality show chosen to be astronauts to go to the Red Planet. I mean, how cool is that going to be? You have to be at least 18 years old to apply, and you have to be intelligent, good mental and physical health, and dedication to the project. So I'll be applying for that, but I've been to Mars. We have bases on Mars, so I hope these people watch it, because they're going to be on my turf. I might just disintegrate them. But and of course they're going to make a reality show out of it. It seems like there's a lot of reality shows, which makes me think, why not use already existing reality show actors and send them to Mars? Who wouldn't love to send, the Kardashians or Paris Hilton or, what's the other one? There's so many of them. Honey Boo Boo. Yeah, let's all get them on the shuttle and send them all to Mars. Because, of course, this is a one-way trip, according to this story. Yeah. There are no plans for them to return to Earth, so they're going to be there forever. So that's what I say. Let's load up all these reality stars, like the pregnant teen mom show, and what are some of the other ones? I don't watch this stuff, so toddlers and tiaras. So let's throw them all. And they're going to need entertainment too. And Rudolph mentioned Justin Bieber a couple minutes ago. So these people are going to need to be entertained. So let's throw him on the shuttle too and send them all to Mars. And they win because they all get to keep their reality shows, and we win because we get them off the planet. So yeah, that sounds like a really good plan. So I'll definitely be tuning into this show when it airs. My name is Xander the Conqueror, and that has been the Xander Minute. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Is the dogs? Oh. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Weekly Entertainment. Thank you, Xander, for that very insightful rant. That was really interesting. We always love your little text segments. But hey, moving right along, let's give a big warm Weekly Entertainment welcome to our special guest, Randy Hutchinson. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
It's quite a pleasure. As everyone knows out there, I was an aspiring filmmaker at one time. That's actually how I got my start. I started making these little, half-hour. It was almost like a sitcom. It was like a chick flick kind of thing. It was called Suburban High Life, and my good friend Crazy Mark discovered it and aired it on his show, and my career took off from there. I started doing stand-up, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your film? And I understand it's called The Castaways.
That's correct. I've written 7 scripts. 4 of them I am pushing to be shot in Detroit.
Okay.
The Castaways I've actually filmed, as you've seen already, I've filmed the trailer for. The Castaways is a story about a zombie apocalypse comes, and only adults can become infected. So the parents are afraid they're going to hurt their kids, so what they do is they kick the kids out of the house. So the kids all kind of glob together as extended families, so they're doing it for companionship, and they protect each other. So normally they would never be hanging out together, but for survival they all join together. So you have every demographic. There's a really smart kid, there's a rich kid, there's the jock, and everybody, there still has the clash between them, but they still, no matter what, at the end of the day, they're still going to protect each other. So the kids all get together for protection, and they have a common goal. They end up wanting to go someplace warm. They hear a broadcast by the U.S. military that there's a safe zone, and they start heading there. So now they have a common destination, and it's how they can best get there safely and all together.
That sounds really interesting. Why don't we take a look at the trailer right now? And,
Perfect, that'd be great.
Okay.
No one knows how it started. It just was. The government didn't even have a clue. They just threw around a lot of theories, chemical terrorism, a virus, and even an attack from outer space were used a lot in the beginning. I guess in the end, it didn't really matter what caused it, but it turned out to be the end of everything we knew. It's not like the ground opened up and spit out a bunch of dead guys. Adults became infected and went crazy on each other. If adults got bit, they turned into zombies.
Okay, that was the trailer for The Castaways. That looks really good, I have to say.
Thank you.
It takes a lot to impress me because I've seen a lot of crap, but that looks awesome. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about that. Oh, actually, one thing real quick. To me, anyways, I'm a fan of horror movies and such. My favorite movie last year was the Ridley Scott movie Prometheus, which was a horror sci-fi. But
huge fan of Ridley Scott.
Aren't zombie movies a little played out? Don't you think, though? I mean, this does seem to add a new twist to it, but it just to me it seems like maybe.
I understand that, but zombies are they're kind of truly an afterthought. The movie itself is more about the kids overcoming problems. It's about them solving the issues that they're presented with. It's just like at an amusement park when you see the sign, you have to be this tall to ride this ride. You know, the parents are always telling kids, wait till you're older, you know, you're not strong enough, you're not fast enough. And these kids they really have to step up. All of them have to step up. They have to bring something to the table. It's not just them that they're worried about. They're worried about their new family, because their old family is gone. Essentially, everything that they've known, I mean, there's not a single thing that survived. They're the only ones. So they're basically scavenging for food. They're finding places to live at night. And again, they're kids, so they do what kids do. They sleep in tree houses. They want to be safe. Zombies don't climb, so they know they can sleep up there. They have to step up. They have to be better than they ever were for everything to work. They have a common goal, and they have to achieve that. If one doesn't make it, none of them make it, is the mentality they have, which I think is ultimately is the message. So the zombies, it could have been aliens, it could have been, essentially it could have been anything, because it's such a minor part of the movie. Literally, in the 100-page script that I have, there's only probably, you see zombies, they only play 3 or 4, like, close-up roles in the whole thing. Otherwise, they're seen at a distance, because it's not that kind of movie. It's really about them overcoming the problems that they have.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I really like that. It has a really nice message. Well, that's not your only production, right? You have other things you've written.
Yes, that's correct. I've actually written 7 scripts. 4 of them are very doable right here in Detroit for a reasonable price. I love Detroit. I'm a hometown boy.
Oh, sure.
I love it. The backdrop, the history, the architecture, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing that you can go from areas that unfortunately have seen better days to, you go to one of the richest miles in the country in Grosse Pointe. It's so close together. It's just absolutely beautiful. The people I've never had an issue. The people are great. All my scripts can easily be done here. I've got a dysfunctional love story named Flawed. I have an inner city love story about a gangster, Q, and I just finished off another script that I'm really loving right now. It's my new favorite thing. It's called The Bat. The Bat. It's about a fallen angel and an angel in good standing that have a bet. The angel in good standing wants to save a girl's soul who's getting ready to commit suicide, which is the only sin that you can't repent from. He wants the opportunity to stop her from doing this, and he bets the fallen angel that he can't tempt a pious man. So that's the story of it, is how people will do things they wouldn't normally do given different circumstances. So it's how it's the close-knit proximity between the morality of humans and angels is the point.
That sounds really interesting. And that's still in the script writing phase?
I've written the script. Actually, very few people have even read it. I've sent it out. I've proofed it, and I've sent it out to a couple of people to get their input on it. And I haven't had. I've had all my stuff gets from my friends and even the professionals that have read it. I've gotten really good response from it. Yeah, my mom always tells me that my script's the best one she's ever read. Of course, it's the only one she's ever read. So I don't want to fall into that. I really, you only get better through criticism. I mean, otherwise you're gonna rest on your laurels and you're never gonna get better.
Well, folks, we'll be right back after this short segment, and we'll visit more with Randy Hutchinson. Okay, and we're back with our very special guest, Randy Hutchinson. Welcome back.
Sure.
Well, we touched on tips for young aspiring filmmakers, which also brings me to the point of what is the state of filmmaking in Michigan? Because I know after the filmmaking tax credits left, what is the filmmaking landscape like now?
I personally don't think that it's changed at all. I think that the people that are, like, we have a huge independent film base here. It's just monstrous. The amount of money that you had to get under the old tax credit was $50,000 to start with anyway. So the majority of stuff that I've seen that I've been on that were feature films are well under that anyway. So they weren't even eligible for tax credits. So I personally think it's not going to affect anything. The people here are so passionate about what they do, whether it's music, art, any sort of thing they do. Detroiters themselves are just a very, very passionate. I was out in LA not too long ago, and I had a D on my shirt, and people are like, they're all like looking at me like something's up. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we heard people from Detroit are crazy. I'm like, we heard the same thing about people from LA. So, we get that vibe that we're very passionate about what we do. So there's always going to be somebody here that's going to be making a movie that's very good. There's a lot of film festivals here. I really think that people need to go out and take a look at what is, what people next to them are putting out. Talking about the aspiring, the directors and actors, go to one of those. Absolutely, you can see the stuff that's out there, and it'll give you an idea. You can see what can be made on a shoestring budget. I mean, literally, they're making feature-length films for next to nothing by people that love what they do. They want to do it for free. They're not about making money. They're about putting out, a product that they really like. They're well shot. Even for, when I say shoestring budget, I've got friends that do stuff that literally, they've award-winning shorts for $1,000, and these things have gone all over the country. Just absolutely phenomenal work. The original scores, and it all comes down to what you're passionate about. And if you want to do it, find a way to do it.
Amazing. So there is just a ton of talent out there.
Absolutely.
Too. It doesn't matter what it is: arts, music. Like comic bookers. I'm heavily involved in the comic book community. There's just so much talent in Michigan. And
absolutely.
I think you can just it seems like every weekend there's something going on too. A film festival, comic book convention. Where you can look at people's indie art and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Just check your local listings. Yeah.
Yeah. McFarlane, who did Spawn, which just was drawing in his basement, he went to one of those comic book conventions and showed Stan Lee, and he hired him on the spot. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that not everybody out there has discovered it. I think it's because of the, I think that's because we're struggle a lot in Detroit, that we have that passion. We want to fight. We want to go ahead and do something. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to.
All right. Well, that's very interesting. And we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, for more.
Bodybuilding. We talk about working out. Everything's gone from these 300-pound bodybuilders.
We're back. I'm sorry. Okay, and we are back with our special guest, Randy Hutchinson.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being on the show. Okay, the short time that we have, there's a couple things we'd like to go over.
Absolutely.
Okay, what are your tips for aspiring young filmmakers? To the kids out there who see what you do, and you've obviously had a level of success with your films. How does somebody get started doing it?
I actually started out as an actor, and I'm fairly well read, so I started writing. That's where my passion lies. Grab a camera, get an idea, try something original. Don't do something somebody else has done. I think that's ultimately, none of my scripts are like anybody else's, so I would suggest originality. You want something that's really going to grab people, have a message behind it. Don't just have a zombie film where everybody's running around shooting everybody.
Exactly.
There's not a single gun in my movie. There's no swearing in it. There's a little bit of violence, but it's unfortunately a necessary thing in this. And I'm not saying that those things don't have merit, but it depends on the situation. It's just unnecessary in this, what I've done. I think of 7 scripts that I've written, one of them, every other word is the F-bomb, and the rest of them, I think there's one swear word in all of them, because it's unnecessary.
Yeah,
and I'm not taking away from it. I swear like a sailor, but I'm just saying that if it doesn't further the idea, there's no sense in it. And I think that's what you can carry across the board, is to do something that's original, something you have passion about. You can write about Little League if that's what they want to do, and just bring a different swing to it. Bring the bat boy from there, or somebody that loves it, that's not good, that's still trying out there every day, trying to be better at something. That's what people want to see.
Okay. So how do you feel about just going out and doing it, kind of like you said, grabbing a camera and just, start filming, or going to film school or take classes at your local community college? Do those really help, or Is it more
You know,
just
I would say-
roll up your sleeves and just do it?
You know what? You're gonna have that guy that's gonna be able to. And the internet is full of success stories where people that have never had a day of film
Right,
school in their life.
right.
And it's going to depend on the person. I think that a lot of it, I'll tell you from being on the other side of the camera, from an actor, that I have more of an understanding of camera positioning, of blocking and everything else. And I think that has helped me. So I would think that any formal education that you can get, even if it's not formal, get with somebody, get with a peer group. If somebody that does it more than once, make mistakes. That's what life's about. You learn from them. Go out and take the video. You'll realize that the f-stop is set too low or too high, that you're washed out or you're too dark, and then you just adjust it. Now you start making those. You're better every time. And the guys that we're talking about, J.J. Abrams and those guys, their first stuff was probably not. I think J.J. Abrams actually, his first thing was a short, which is very rare for those guys. Usually they jump right into, from film school, they'll jump right into doing features. But you'll get guys that'll do shorts, and it'll carry over, and you'll make that transition.
So where can we see your films? If somebody wanted to see one of your works, are you going to be appearing anywhere? Or?
Well, I'm working. Actually, I'll be in L.A. pushing my stuff in May, end of May, beginning of June. I'll be out there talking to a couple of producers. I'm working on getting financing right now. My website is bullinachinashopproductions.com or thecastawaysmovie.com. They can go to, that's my main website. The Castaways is the trailer that you guys have already seen. They can go right there. They can see what we're doing. And if anybody's interested in, like I said, right now we're looking for funding. I've got 4 scripts, very reasonably priced, that I think will have great commercial draw and they have a lot of potential. So that is where they can go to see me.
Okay, great. Well, this is down to our last minute. This went by really fast. We'll definitely have to have you back.
I would love that.
Yes, anytime. Well,
Thank you,
thanks
sir.
for joining us.
My pleasure.
Be sure to check them out. Bull in the China Shop Productions and The Castaways. This is going to be a great movie. I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
And we just wish you all the best of luck in the world.
Thank you, sir.
And well, thanks for coming. And
my pleasure.
Good
Absolutely.
luck. Real quick, we have 20 seconds. What are you working on right now?
I'm working on financing for The Castaways. Right now, we're talking with people, actually doing product placement in it to try to get the funding for the film.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of exciting stuff. Like I said, I made a couple little short films back in the day, and it is a blast.
Absolutely.
It was just so much fun. I think next week we'll have to show some of my stuff. I'm gonna. Yeah, I wanted to, I've been wanting to remaster it, so I think I might put together a little trailer and we'll show it next week and see how bad of an actor I really am. How out of shape I really was back in the time, too.
You're always worse than you think you are. That's the bad part.
Yeah. Well, I've got the viewer mail to tell you how bad I am, but we'll have to get to that next week. Well, apparently we had more time than we thought we did, so we have 30 seconds to ramble on, but no, this movie looks really good. And,
Thank you. I'm a huge fan. Everybody did a phenomenal job at my. I produced it and directed it. My camera guy was absolutely phenomenal. All the kids that were acting it were excellent.
They seem like really good actors.
Oh yeah, they're phenomenal. I wish them all the best. So
I mentioned a fan of like the Hunger Games or something like that would be interested in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
So, that's
right. I think anybody that wants a positive message.
Yeah,
and I think that's what ultimately comes away, that you want that at the end of the day. You want to be happy. You want to see someone succeed, and I think that's what this is about.
That's going to have to be our last word. And again, thanks for joining us, Randy Hutchinson. Well, make sure you tune in next week and for more Madcap Mayhem. Good night.